So we're trying to finish this peony window, and it's taken a long time. We've got the top, we have a lot done on the bottom, so if you combine the two, we're at the halfway point. We've got a little patch here so I don't accidentally solder a place where we've got a piece missing that hasn't been copper foil taped. Sometimes they say the iron is slow, and that just means it's got too much oxidation in it. We don't want it to be sloppy at all. We don't want extra little bits. Some of the solder, like this area here, looks a little grayer. It's just oxidized a little bit. So I'll need to condition this using the sal ammoniac block and silver up that soldering iron so it's really as bright silver as the solder that's coming off of it now. And then it will be very, very hot. I'm looking for silvery parts on this soldering iron, which is not my first choice of how to solder, but I'll condition this soldering iron. We're going to make sure that we're putting in as many hours as possible. Thank God Carol was here to help. Dave will help out too. We'll still need to solder the back side of this. The soldering iron is about 500 degrees Fahrenheit. We definitely don't want to touch this. I'm going to put some flux remover on it, and then I'm going to sprinkle some water on it. Warm water. I've got a little scrub brush, and I'm going to scrub the dickens out of it. The flux is a little oily. It eventually makes the solder look dull and tarnished, and this really cleans up all that oily flux. I've already done the top part of the window. You can see how sparkly the solder looks. And now we have to wipe it down. Right away, we see a really clean, bright, beautiful product there. Once this really dries, then I'm going to polish it. I've already polished the top third of the window, but it looks really great compared to the work surface, which had lots of grit on it and little bits of dust stick to the oily flux. What an improvement. The polish will go on and get buffed with a brush, because a rag will sort of keep catching on little tiny uneven parts. You can hear it. Okay, so the washing is done. All the soldering is done on the front, and the brass edging has been put on. Perfectly two sides, except for one corner, which is 1/8 of an inch, slightly longer. I hope it fits in. I bought a buffing ball for the front of my drill, and I decided it looks great when it's polished. It's so shiny, the glass is so glossy, and now I'm going to buff around these 3D pieces. I've used a glass finishing wax, and I sprayed it on and rubbed it on with a terry cloth towel, and I let it set for about 1.5 hours until it looked slightly frosted. You know how old-fashioned glass wax worked. It sort of gets a little bit of a frost on it, and that's the glass hardening up on the surface. And then you go back with a soft cloth. This is an old piece of t-shirt, and you go back and you just gently buff it up. I declare the front of the peony window done. I even etched my name into the bottom piece of glass here, which is not very prominent. You'd have to look for it, but there it is.